The rates of teenage depression, sadness, and hopelessness have skyrocketed over the past decade. Now Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy is warning about the dangers of social media for teens. Despite the warning, nearly all teens are using social media platforms. 95% of teenagers, 13 through 17, according to the report. And about a third say they're on social media almost constantly.
There's a lot of comparison that goes on via social media, especially for our young female clients that we see. But for both boys and girls, it's a constant presence of both good and bad from their peers.
Kids today are growing up with access to information we couldn't have even imagined, and they're connected in ways that we couldn't imagine.
And social media is something that Mark Baldwin realizes is hard for teens to get away from.
It's intentionally designed in a way that's addictive, and so we're in this reward system. And if you think about, too, the short form social media that's coming out, that really triggers that reward system in our brain.
It affects their daily lives as far as their sleep habits, how attentive they can be to other priorities or tasks, and it can even stimulate trauma and grief when something like the suicide of a beloved actor or teen star is broadcast.
But what can teens and their parents do to combat the negative effects of social media?
We need to decrease the amount of social media use, technology use, and at the same time increase the amount of face-to-face contacts that we have with people.
As the summer's coming on, keep scheduled and structured activities that you can get your children and teens involved in and unplug for a little while off of the social media.
Both Mark and Glenn recommend limiting screen time for teens. The Surgeon General is hoping more than just parents get involved. His advisory urges policymakers and the companies that make the social media platforms to share the burden of managing teenagers' social media use. Alexander Bitterling, 39 News, Jackson.